The president is taking Viagra for a serious lung condition called pulmonary hypertension. Let me explain. I'm a home health physical therapist with a doctorate in my field and 14 years experience in home health care with geriatric patients, like the president. We all know the popular reason anyone would take Viagra, also known as sildenafil. But the other main reason someone takes Viagra is pulmonary hypertension. And that pill appears to be generic Viagra in the chewable form, which may explain why he felt comfortable putting it in his mouth in front of thousands of people at the US Open in public. Oh, and he probably got the sildenafil chewables from Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who is nicknamed Captain Candyman around the White House because he has a reputation for being the guy to go to get prescription medication easily. And this is the reason his nomination to become the head of Veterans Affairs was withdrawn several years ago. Pulmonary hypertension can be a cause of heart failure and be an increase in the risk of having a stroke. I made videos earlier about why the president's public medication regimen indicates he has a history of stroke or TIA, which would explain many of his cognitive behaviors and physical behaviors. Difficulty speaking can be a common symptom of having had a stroke. Recently, the president gave an early morning interview where his voice sounds really hoarse. Now, it could be just because he's 80 years old, but to date, that is the most feeble I've ever heard the president's voice sound. About 10% of patients with pulmonary hypertension have had a stroke, and roughly 25% of pulmonary hypertension patients have had a TIA. And the risk only goes up with every year that goes by. So MAGA has two choices. Admit that the patient is involved in an illicit affair while traveling on official presidential business. Or admit that the White House continually lies about the actual list of prescription medications that the president is taking. Oh, don't forget, Donald Trump specifically called himself a Tic Tac user during that famous Access Hollywood recording where he ended it with, "Grab her by the you-know-what," which means that's not an Altoid in that photo. And I also want everyone to know I'm going to keep reporting on these things because the White House lies for a living. They lied about how sick President Trump actually got with COVID several years ago. By the way, someone with Trump's medical history, having COVID increases the risk of having a stroke. And I stand by what I said before. I think he's got 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.